How's it going, lazy Bruce's up? I'm Sixkilla, welcome back to the Zodiac Trial. We're in the route where Horse has gone full Jason on us. He's put the mask on and he is going murder crazy. And we're trying to figure out how to defend ourselves against him. At the moment we need to set up a trap with the grenade because we're going to set a home base here in the cafeteria. And we have to pick where to put it, although I have no context for this, so we're going to go upper right, I guess. It makes sense to me. It's just one door, so it should be easy to hook up. If we place it properly, you shouldn't be able to see it, and he'll definitely die if he takes a blast like that. Great. So then what do we do with the other doors? With what we have left, I think we can cover the other entrances by placing a pair of scouts right here. A pair of scouts? We have a sniper rifle, and you brought back a pistol, right? We should keep the dual pistols with someone safe as a backup plan, so those are the weapon we'll use. The group will stay on guard on the upper right side of the area. The scout with the sniper rifle will look for anyone entering through that open area. But the scout with the pistol will be ready when he enters through the right set of double doors. Why would you put them there when the grenade is set up on the trap on the door right behind you? That means if he opens the door, it'll blow up him and those two people. Whatever. Regardless of where he attacked from, he won't be safe. It hardly seems perfect still. It's probably our best shot. Yeah, with this plan we pretty much got the whole place on lockdown. Excuse me, I know you mentioned the two scouts, but what about the rest of us? Where should we be? See that little diverted section in the back of the cafeteria? You should all be fine if you hide there. I'll keep everyone completely out of lines of sight from all entrances, so no risk of being shot, and it provides the most flexibility in the worst case scenario where we need to flee. So I guess we should discuss who the scouts are, right? I believe I can also provide answers for that. First of all, the scout in charge of the sniper rifle should be none other than myself. Seriously? You? Didn't see that coming. I object to this assignment. I'm not sure why you'd think you'd be a good fit for sniper, but I sure can't see it. Apparently he was in the military, right? Trust me, I'm quite capable of the task. Sniping at such short range should be child's play. I'll confirm that. The task is totally within Snake's capabilities. It is? Good. Glad that's settled. As for the second scout, the one covering the first scout with the pistol, I'd request that role goes to Mouse. Mouse? Me? Again, I object. I'm a cop, I know how to use a pistol, I know how to use it way better than some random civilian. Perhaps, but as a sniper I want Mouse to back me up. Mouse, will you go along with this? Okay, sure. Thank you. But, settle down, Bunny. Oh, I didn't save. That's alright, we'll go back. If Snake wants this and Mouse has agreed to it, then we might as well let it happen. Though I must admit, I'm curious to Snake's motives. I'm simply making the safest choice. Well, if you guys think so, you're probably right. Sorry for being negative there. Just, concerned is all. Fair but unnecessary. And with that, the plan was settled on. We didn't know when Horse would be coming to attack, so we worked fast. Bunny showed me the basics of how to use a pistol, and Snake set up the traps. When everything was ready, we took our station beside the upper right entrance and began our lookout watch. So, what am I on the lookout for? Horse. I know that, I'm asking if there are any tells I can use. Anything to figure out if he's about to come. Just keep your eyes peeled. I highly doubt he'll come in from that entrance, but if he does, you got a clear shot of him. He doesn't have one of you. Alright. After that, we stood around in silence for a while. What was there to say? We just needed to do our jobs. And kill, if the need came. That was the part I was most nervous of. Even if it was totally justified. Murdering Horse, it wouldn't make me feel good. But at this point I was determined. If I saw him, I'd shoot him. I had to. Eventually, the silence began to wear on me. I tried starting some conversation with Snake. Are you nervous, Snake? Reasonably. What's going to happen if he shows up? We'll shoot him. Honestly, I'd be more nervous if he doesn't show up. We do have to input our actions for this turn in the race eventually. But what if he shoots us first? Shouldn't be possible. Then why are you nervous? We're fighting for our lives. Fighting to kill, it's natural to be nervous, and nothing is certain. You don't look nervous. No reason to show it. So when Ox told Bunny he could trust you to be a sniper, what was that about? Was he just saying that to placate him? Most likely, Ox has remembered more about me at this point. As a prosecutor of the Morris case, he looked into the backgrounds of most of the relevant actors, including mine. So you know what you're doing. If I didn't, why would I volunteer? Fair enough. I suppose you wish to know why I know how to operate a sniper rifle. I'm certainly curious about it. As a matter of fact, I used to be in the military. You? No need to act so surprised. Admittedly, it was a while ago, and not for that long, but I did serve. While that life was definitely not for me, it taught me a lot. Not just about guns, of course, I'm speaking in a bigger sense. In fact, I think everyone should spend a few years of their life early on in the military. It's a valuable experience. Forgive me if I pass on that. An expected response, though the whole endeavour may be a suitable replacement. So, if that's why you chose the sniper, why'd you choose me to back you up? I imagine you preferred if I told you that because I truly believe in you, that I wouldn't have anyone else at my back. It would be nice, but somehow I doubt it. It's actually not far from the truth. I have reasons to strongly distrust the others here. Well, I suppose it didn't have to be you. Rooster, Pig or Sheep would have all been suitable replacements, but forgive me if I didn't choose them for other reasons. Reason to distrust the others? It was right as he asked that as it happened, a vending machine fell down onto the floor by the upper left entrance. As soon as we realised what we'd witnessed, we saw another figure plummet down, landing behind the vending machine. I only realised that it had been Horse a few seconds after witnessing it. What on earth? Shit, this could be bad. How the hell did he get over that railing? The common area connected to the upper left entrance had an open ceiling, which had a second floor walkway that you could look down on. It appeared as though Horse has taken full advantage of this strange geography. You certainly were right in your assessment of Horse's tremendous physical prowess. More interestingly, why did you choose to approach like this? I can't imagine he could figure out we'd be waiting to ambush. That shouldn't be possible. Well, clearly it is. Why else would he jump from the second floor like that? At least he can't really move any closer without you shooting him. I wouldn't speak so soon. It seems Snake predicted Horse's next move because sure enough Horse began to move. Move the vending machine, that is. He slowly pushed it forwards, still staying completely ducked down and behind it, using it for cover. It was really an absurd sight. Still, this approaching had flaws. I'm not sure what he hopes to achieve. It's not like, oh my god, guys, quick, run over here, get out of here, flee, go, through the upper right hallway. Snake, keep your gun trained on the machine. Be ready if he pops out. Why? Think about what will happen if he keeps pushing the vending machine. Right now he's restricted, because if he pops out he'll likely be shot before he can do anything. But if he moves the machine far enough, he'll be able to shoot the others, without getting out from behind the cover. Good catch, I'm impressed. Ox seemed to have got what I was saying, as he instructed everyone to run over. Snake tensed up. If Horse didn't try something right now, he'd let the group get away. Let the group get away, he did. Now the only hope in the cafeteria was Snake, Horse, and me. A tense standoff. The vending machine got closer and closer. What are we gonna do? At some point we'll have to fight. I'm just waiting for the right time. The right time? As strong as he is, pushing that thing's gonna take some effort. If he's currently holding Dragon's gun while pushing, I can easily imagine how he must be positioned behind the vending machine. If that's the case, then this should work. What should work? Instead of answering me, Snake started to sprint at the vending machine, sniper rifle in hand. He jumped off a nearby misplaced chair and aimed the gun mid-air downwards. I see. If he could get an angle where he could get the shot off. As soon as I got this hope, a blur emerged from the machine. Horse had swung the sledgehammer, knocking the sniper rifle out of Snake's hands. For such a smart guy, I thought you'd have a better plan than that. I instantly realised Snake was in a load of trouble. I wanted to fire, but Snake was right in front of me. Duck. Snake instantly realised what I meant and dropped to the floor. Unfortunately, Horse also got the message and ducked back behind the vending machine. I shot twice at him with the pistol, but only one bullet connected, and only glanced his shoulder. At least he was injured, but Snake realised the sniper rifle was lying on the floor and lunged to grab it. But once again the sledgehammer came out from behind the vending machine, and using it like a stick, Horse pulled it back behind his cover. Snake stood up, flustered. We had to act fast. Hand me the pistol. What? Why? Trust me. I was hesitant, but Snake seemed to know what he was doing. I gave him the gun. If I'm successful, let them know what I did. Give me a hero's death. What? Instead of explaining, Snake bed down and leapt forward, going around the vending machine, pistol out and ready. 2 shots were fired at nearly the same time. One went straight through Snake's head. His body inertia left his body sliding across the floor. The other came out of the pistol and was aimed behind the vending machine. Did it connect with Horse? I hate to say it, but the excitement that thought brought far outweighed the sorrow I felt at Snake's death. Excitement shattered as Horse stood up holding his assault rifle that now had a bullet lodged in the front of it. Guess this thing's worthless now. Horse leaned down and grabbed the sniper rifle from behind the vending machine. This will have to do instead. It was those words which made me realise I was weaponless and powerless. Once again I had no choice but to run away from the scene, tears in my eyes. Horse was unstoppable, he couldn't be beat. No one could face him, we were gonna die. Paranoia and desperation were rampant within my brain. I went up the stairs and ran down the 3rd floor hallway. Eventually I found the group, explaining what had happened to them. Did not calm things down. We're gonna die, we're gonna die. Is there anything we can do? Any way at all we can stop him? As a matter of fact, I believe we're not completely without options yet. She held out the dual pistols. We weren't completely out of weapons. So what should we do with them? I don't know, put them to good use? With that, Monkey started to walk away from us. Wait, where are you going? I'm aware of my strengths well enough to know that I'd be of no use here. I'm also aware of my mental state enough to know that if I see anyone die with my own eyes, I'll likely be scarred, experiencing trauma that would take years and years to heal from. A therapist can't exactly be scarred, no? So for my livelihood in life, I shall flee. Also, the round is nearing its end. We all need to input our moves once more. Hey, wait up! That sounds like a bunch of cowardly talk to justify running and hiding. Actually, I think Monkey's plan sounds pretty good. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Know that my winning spirit is with you. Cheers. Rooster started to speed walk away. Hey, cut it out. You're really all just gonna hide? How do you even know that's gonna work? Don't worry, I'm sure it will. After all, I've been invisible to casting directors for years. Cretins. Can we just hide and let the others deal with Horse? Because if that's the case, I want to do that as well. Pig ran down the hallway. We can't split up like this. Ox started chasing those three down, shouting at them not to flee. Ironically, in trying to bring the group together, Ox also split off from the group. The only ones left were myself, Sheep, Tiger, and Buddy. The situation had only gotten grimmer and grimmer. We briefly split up so we could press the run button on our tablet without being executed. I half expected the others to be gone when I returned. They weren't. But Ox, Pig, Rooster, and Monkey still were. We're in trouble, aren't we? Screw that. You think just because the others have failed, I will too? I'm an Abadi, unbreakable spirit, Olympian champion, record breaker in all things. I'll have a life worth 200 of itself. If some bodybuilder homicidal douchebag thinks he's going to be the end of me, he's got another thing coming. Jeez. I guess if you're that serious, I'll need to get in shape too, right? Fine then, let's get serious. But what can we do if that hasn't been tried already? We can do what the others haven't. Be smart. Let's try and think about this rationally. Mouse, you said that when Horse puts that skull mask on, he starts to act like a different person, a wild one, obsessed with fighting. Yeah, seems to be. God, that's really dumb. But if it's true, we can use it to our advantage. If we stay in the 3rd floor hallway long enough, eventually he'll find us. That's when you, Tiger, should challenge the masked him to a fight without weapons. A fight without weapons? If it's really like a different personality when he's wearing the mask, you might agree to it. Mouse's description painted him as the honor-bound warrior nutcase who might go for it. And Tiger, you're also dumb enough for it to be believable you'd lay down this challenge. Point is, we're gonna hope, and I serious hope, that Horse goes for that. Is this gonna be up to me to take him down to one-on-one fight? God no, you may be strong, but just physically speaking, Horse is stronger. You don't know how strong I really am. No, but I can guess, and either way, it's also clear that Horse has more fighting experience, which honestly matters more in the long run. So if you're not relying on Tiger to win, what's the plan? I'll be hiding in a closet further down the hallway. Tiger will wait it. Once the fight starts, I'll pop out wielding the dual pistols and take him by surprise. Unlike a lot of you, I actually know how to use guns like this. For a big brute like that, I won't miss. And in a hallway like that, he'll have nowhere to hide. It'll be an execution. Sounds good, but what if Horse refuses and decides to shoot her? If he's smart after shooting her, he'll walk to check her body. When he leans down over her, he'll be wide open. What, your plan is to sacrifice Tiger to kill Horse? At this point, losing one more to save the other 7 is worth it, especially if that one is going to die anyway. Tiger, you okay with this? If that's what it takes, then you'll just need to live my 200 lives for me. I probably got 80 done by now, so divide the remaining 120 amongst yourselves. Which means for each of you, that's like 20 lives apiece. What? Besides, it won't come to that, I won't die. If I know Horse, he's going to honor my one-on-one fight, and then I'm going to win. Now you're going to let me pop out and shoot him to death. I can take him. We've established that you could not. By lying about having no weapons, one-on-one duel, then shooting him from behind. Isn't that a total dick move? You know what's also a dick move? Deciding to massacre 11 innocent people to save your own ass. I guess. Still, it doesn't sit with me. Well, you'll just have to find some way to deal with it. As for the two of you, Sheep and Mouse, I hate to say it, but you're just going to be burdens on this whole operation more than anything. A burden? You two can wait in the nearby computer lab. That way, you can watch how the whole thing goes. Maybe step in if need be. Run away if it really goes south. Though, if this, our 4th plan, still doesn't work I think we're all just dead, so sound like a plan? I guess. Yeah. Alright, let's do this. Jesus. It'd be a stretch to say I was feeling good about this. In truth, I was feeling very, very bad about this. But what else are we gonna do? This is the plan now. We headed over to the computer lab to wait and watch. Not much else to do after all. Do you think this will work? I feel like I've asked and answered that so many times now. At this point, it better work. That's not a very confidence-inspiring answer. Inspire your own confidence. How? If I told you, then it wouldn't be you doing the inspiring, now would it? She became silent. I felt a little bad about getting snippy with her, but not that bad. There were a lot of other things I was feeling worse about. Eventually I heard noises. I leaned out to take a sneak peek at what was happening, and sure enough, Horse was there. And by the look of things, he had indeed been lured into a one-on-one fight. His weapons were thrown to the floor, his skull mask was on. You sure you want to do it like this? It'd be a lot of fun for me, but a lot of pain for you. Huh, more like, it'll be the other way around with you being the one who gets pain. Let's do this. Oh my god, Tiger's not very smart, is she? Tiger started charging at Horse, but Horse leapt over to the side and toppled a nearby trophy closet. He sent it crashing down, blocking the closet door. Blocking the closet door Bunny was hiding in. Why? How? How the fuck? Huh? What's wrong? Nervous that your friend isn't going to be able to give you backup now? It was you who made this a 1 versus 1, right? There's no way. How could you have known that was our plan? Easy, I could hear him breathing. You heard him breathing? My ears are very finely attuned. Although I was listening for it. After all, at this point, I didn't buy for a minute that you didn't have something up your sleeve. Should have laid your trap better. Now there's no way he's going to be able to end the fight that easily. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Tiger once again rushed at Horse, for one catching him by surprise. She pinned him against the blocked off door, holding both his arms down to either side of the wall. Now Bunny, fire through the door. Must have taken a Bunny to realize what she meant by this, because there was a pause before the bullet started whizzing through. Horse, however, realized what that meant instantly, and to make an escape by headbutting Tiger and rushing away. In the past, that sort of evasive tactic would have resulted in Horse making a clean escape, right before he would turn around and kill his attackers. Not this time. Horse was hit in the side by the very first bullet. It wasn't anything crucial, but it clearly weakened him. As Horse gripped his side, Tiger grabbed onto the trophy case, blocking the door, and shoved it aside. The sound of the heavy closet moving away was enough to notify Bunny that he could now kick the door open. Finish him! Die, you fuck! Bunny started firing both pistols at Horse. Before the first bullet was shot, Horse had already leapt up and at Bunny. The bulky man somehow jumped with the height of a gymnast, yet he wasn't even he wasn't able to fully get out of the way of the barrage. 2 bullets hit him in the left leg, blood splattering onto the ground. In Horse's mind, this might have been a small price to pay. After all, with the jump he was able to get right up to Bunny. In a clean sweep he grabbed onto both Bunny's hands. He squeezed so hard I could hear the bones breaking from down the hall. Bunny cried out in pain and dropped both pistols. Horse then swung the smaller man like he was nothing more than a prop, tossing him down the hall. Bunny limply skidded across the hallway. Horse looked as though he meant to finish Bunny off, but Tiger wasn't having that. She kicked right at Horse's head. Again, normally Horse should have been able to dodge that sort of strike, but instead the blow solidly landed with a nasty thunk. I wasn't sure if Tiger was particularly speedy, matching Horse's reflex, or if Horse was simply starting to feel fatigue. Either way, the attack on Horse did nothing but make him an enraged punching machine. Left hook, left straight, right straight. Horse unleashed a barrage of powerful fists at Tiger, each punch powerful enough to crack stone. But Tiger kept pace, blocking and dodging each and every one. And while Tiger was being pushed back, Bunny was starting to recover. He slowly got to his feet, reached down and picked up one of the pistols. He tried to aim at Horse, but the 2 combatants were fighting too fast, and Tiger was squarely in the way. What's the matter, Bunny? Why not shoot me? Oh wait, you can't. Nearly forgot. Oh yeah? With that, Bunny aimed his gun and he shot right through Tiger. He shot him right through the stomach. What the hell? But in theory, this might have been a worthy sacrifice. Horse's sight was blocked by Tiger, so he shouldn't have been able to see the oncoming bullet, and yet somehow, when the bullet came barreling through Tiger's chest, it did not hit Horse, but rather the dagger he held in front of him. The fuck? Sure, the flat side of the dagger was rather wide, but still, to use something that small to block a bullet you could see coming. Then Horse wound up his arm like he was a pitcher. Right as Tiger fell to one knee from the bullet wound, he let his dagger fly upwards right at Bunny. It struck him right in the throat, and immediately Bunny started to clutch at his neck and painfully choke. Tiger, to her credit, refused to go down from one bullet. But as she determinedly stayed on one knee, trying to get up, Horse put his hands together and struck down with killing intent. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. even though I'd seen it many times. Under impossible circumstances, Horse still managed to turn the tables and kill his attackers. He couldn't be beat, he was unstoppable. He was inevitable. He could do nothing, and would do nothing except kill. He'd murder each and every last one of us. We were going to die. There was nothing we could do. Death was inevitable. Mouse, snap out of it. Sheep tugged hard at my sleeve, trying to stop me from staring blankly at the carnage. We've got to run and get out of here before Horse finishes with that. Again? What's the point? Mouse, I don't have time for this. She closed her eyes and raised her hand. It shook in the air and then it came right at my face. Sheep, in a moment of desperation, slapped me. Sorry, I know I'm horrible. I needed that. You're right. Let's get out of here. My heart was still at the bottom of my stomach, but wallowing in that would certainly lead to death. Running still might not. In this race, I was the mouse. No, I was the rat, and I would survive by fleeing like one. That's all I could do. We made our way up to the different section of floors and hid ourselves in a chemistry lab. There we caught our breaths. How? It was perfect. We totally had him, and even still, he just didn't die. He really is incredible. He really is horrifying. I don't know what on earth could stop that beast. I don't think he's even human. Well, let's try and stay on the bright side. What bright side? Tiger and Sheep just got murdered. Not Sheep, Bunny. There's no bright side to this. I think there are some good things to take from this. Nothing that makes up for their deaths, of course, but, well, their sacrifices went for nothing. He was shot in the side, and twice in the leg. I know it didn't look like it there, but that has to slow him down. Like he said, it didn't look like it there. That's because he was riding on pure adrenaline. Once he calms down, the pain of that has to kick in. And it's not like there are any medical supplies around here, so the most he could do is bandage it up. So maybe he has a limp now. So what? It's not just the bullets. Tiger sparred with him for a while there. Horse was really starting to sweat. He was getting tired. Not so tired that he couldn't throw a knife into a human body. True, but again, that was adrenaline. Think about it. At this point, Horse has been in 4 separate fights. He had to act fast to get the jump on Dog. He sparred with Dragon for a while. That definitely took some strength. He moved a vending machine and fought an attrition war to kill Snake. And against Bunny and Tiger, he took some serious damage and spent a ton of energy. He might be really strong, but he's still human. Humanity has its limits. He might be doing a bunch of seemingly impossible things, but most of that is probably due to the stress and danger of the situation bringing his muscles into hyperdrive. But that comes with a cost. Your brain has a limited amount it can handle before starting to go south. So you're saying he's almost out of juice. He has to be, right? Horse hasn't been able to eat or drink properly in a while, and yesterday he was electrocuted and tied up for a long time. His body must be incredibly sore. There's no way he's in a good condition. If my math is right, then at the moment, he just needs one more kill to get across the finish line. It'd all be for nothing if he was overwhelmed right now. So at the moment, he's probably not looking for us. Instead, he's resting up. Exactly, and also I have this. She handed me the broken taser Dragon shot before. This is the taser from before, right? I found it on the second floor and I thought, maybe I could be of some use? When Tiger and Rabbit were fighting him off, I tried my best to fix it. It didn't go too well, but I think I sort of have it working again. If I'm right, it'll fire once before I need to re-fix it. Oh, but it'll still shoot out as a kind of short-distance web. I couldn't fix that. Even so, this is still great work, Sheep. With this, we actually have something to fight with. Exactly, I mean, it won't kill him, but if we hunt him down now when he's weak, manage to stun him, maybe we'll get the dagger from him, and we'll just be able to win. You're right, Sheep, we can totally do this. Not just for us, but for Pig, Monkey, Ox, and Rooster. We'll find him, and we'll end this. Let's go. It was at that moment that Horse walked into the chemistry lab, not wearing a skull mask or carrying any weaponry. You'll find me, is it? Horse? Monster. Piece of shit bastard. Scum. Easy with that. I get that you're upset with me, but name-calling is just petty. You know what's not petty? Tiger and Bunny's lives for Dragon's life. But you seem to think that those are petty. You must, or why else would you kill them? So I guess you're not a very good judge of pettiness. I placed a great amount of significance in their deaths, as I will with yours. You monster, I hope you rot in hell for this. And I hope you may rest in heaven. So what happens now? With Tiger's death, everyone I consider a threat is now dead. Killing the rest of you should be easy. Please, just surrender and let me give you a quick and painless exit. That's it, huh? You're just going to calmly walk over here and murder us? If that's how you want it to be, then yes. If you want us to be accommodating, do you mind telling us why you're deciding to do all of this? It's not an answer that would satisfy you. Alright, then what about this? What's the deal with that skull mask of yours? Why do you go berserk when you wear it, huh? The mask, yes, I suppose I owe you that much. Very well then, let me tell you my story. Oh goody, I can't wait to hear this. I sense sarcasm. Oh no, not at all. I was raised in a pretty bad part of Hightower. Lots of ruffians, lots of gangs, troublemakers and the like. Which was pretty inconvenient because my father was incredibly morally upright. He had very firm convictions of what was right and what was wrong. He instructed me to follow those teachings to the letter. He ranted on about how I couldn't stray from the noble path, how imperative it would be that I be a good, upstanding son. He talked about the dichotomy of people in this world and how after we die, the virtuous will be saved and the sinful will be punished. And I obeyed him. Not because I was afraid of punishment or anything, but because I believed what he said. I still believe it, genuinely. So that defined my early childhood. I was the model student. I would never cheat, never lie, never cover for anyone. And that, of course, led to incessant bullying from my class. But I could tolerate it all fine because I knew I was right. Eventually I started making some friends. They were, as my dad would put it, a bunch of troubled youths, but they were friendly with me, and at that time in my life, that was really all it took. Slowly but surely, they started convincing me to hang out with them after hours, to have some real fun. I told them again and again, no way, nothing good could come from it, and besides, if my dad ever found out, I'd be grounded forever. But they kept on insisting. If I wanted to keep being their friend, I'd have to go and have some fun with them. Eventually, one of them offered me the skull mask. He said I should wear it, that way no one would be able to recognize me and I won't get in trouble. Even back then I physically stood out, but they convinced me that with a hoodie in the dark of night no one would find out. When they presented the mask, I caved. I snuck out at night and got into some real trouble. I was racked with guilt, so I convinced myself that wasn't me. That was someone else. That was the Night Devil. We just happened to share a body. That's how I justified it to myself, and the next night I did the same thing. Then I justified it in the same way. When I was wearing the skull mask out at night, I wasn't sinning, the Night Devil was. And the Night Devil was really having fun, finally able to pent out his frustration and wild ride. I could control when I lost control. I guess after a while, I started to really buy into this dichotomy. I remained my father's model son. I never lied, never cheated, never got into fights, never smoked, never drank. But the Night Devil, oh, he was a real party animal. He would do all those things that I couldn't. But of course, I wasn't doing them. That wasn't me, that was him. As time passed, the Night Devil became something of a figure. He wasn't being led around by his friends anymore, he was leading them. They adopted his skull mask and started to mark their turf. The Night Devil would get into lots of fights with other hoodlums, other gangs, all while under the moon's disguise. The Night Devil got really good at fighting too, so much he'd gained a bit of a reputation. My father would eventually learn the secret of the Night Devil, but not until I had already gone to college. I still haven't gone back home. I don't know if he'd let me. Anyways, as I stayed at this somewhat local college, I started to think that enough was enough. The Night Devil had had his fun, but he wasn't welcome anymore. I stuck to the straight and narrow for a while. Got my education, found a job at a construction company that I still work at to this day. Eventually, however, I started to bore with the tedium of life. I was content with a simple life, but something felt missing. It was only one night. I only let him roam the streets for one night, but what happened that night? He went to a bar, got pretty drunk, got into an argument with another man who also happened to be pretty drunk, took it outside. The Night Devil only shoved him, and yet luck was not with the man on that night. The curb hit his head and he died. I didn't kill him. The Night Devil did. And he was a true monster. I'd let run on this world. After that night, I vowed to never let him free again. And since it was my fault for letting him out, I obsessively followed the story around his death. I was sure at any moment the police would come knocking on my door, there to arrest me for his crimes. But I was lucky. They never found the evidence linking me to that death. They never even had enough to pin it down as a homicide. I thought that was simply for that time. However, since I was following his death, I learned of one other tragic fact. He had a young daughter. Much worse, he was a single father with no close relatives. The girl was transferred to an orphanage. Sheep is the girl, isn't she? It must have been such a sad time for her. I felt a responsibility to her. I thought about adopting her at the time, but it felt too cruel an irony. A father's murderer adopts his only daughter. What a horrible man that must be. No, better to leave sleeping dogs lie. But time passed, and she wasn't being adopted. It wasn't a good orphanage either. I used to have friends who lived there, and they'd tell me horror stories. Since the Night Devil had killed the poor man, wasn't it my responsibility to at least make sure his daughter can have a good life? I felt it the only way to atone for my sins, and so she became my daughter. And ever since that night, I kept the Night Devil's mask locked in a box deep in the attic, and with all the memories associated with him. And yet, through some cruel irony, when I woke up I had this mask on under the horse mask. Clearly Brian had done his research. I didn't plan on ever using the mask to let him out, but, well, once the hunt began, I knew who needed to do the killing. You're crazy. That would be a fair assumption. But hearing that story, I don't think the Night Devil killed anyone. It was an accident, right? What difference does the intention make? What will your daughter think when she finds out what you've done? She won't find out. Oh, she will. And let me guess, you never told her that you're the one who killed her daddy either, huh? Of course I haven't. I wasn't the one who killed her. Huh, you're pathetic. That I am. But the least I could do is finish my job. You mean... It means you're still going to kill us, in case we forget. Any last words? You don't have to do this. Please, I know this isn't really you. You wouldn't mercilessly kill 2 girls just begging for their lives, would you? You told me you'd protect me. You said everything would be fine. You wanted to be good, right? To atone. Is this really how you plan to do it? Stop this, please, stop this. I don't want to die, please. Please, spare me, save me. Horse stood over Sheep, and yet he'd stopped in his tracks. Sheep had curled into a ball, crying non-stop, utterly powerless and pathetic. It should have been an easy kill, and yet Horse picked Sheep up by her collar, walked over to the door, opened it and threw her out. Then he yanked the handle to the left so hard that the wood around it splintered. He gave it a testing shove, and just as it intended, the door could no longer be opened or closed. You stay out of this for now, anyway. First I got this one to deal with. Horse turned over to stare me down. I can guess how this is gonna go. Nothing personal. The room's lights were off and the curtains were lowered. The room was dark and my opponent lumbered tall and strong. There were no escapes, this is it. Things were so tense that I looped back around to being calm. It's super expected that I die here, right? In that case, might as well accept it. I'm probably gonna die, so let's see what I can do, no pressure. I'm ready when you are. Ready? Don't tell me you're actually gonna try and fight me. Sort of. It'd be simpler if you didn't. And I bet you'd like it when things are simple, huh? You'd like it too, after all, simple deaths are the least painful. Actually, not dying deaths are the least painful. There's no such thing as a not dying death. I know, I was being poetic to you know, turn your phrase back around on you. Didn't work. Are you gonna come after me or what? Fine. Horse started to make his way toward me. Oh shit. I didn't think this far ahead. I saw him swing his fist, but I ducked under it and started running away. Running away? Where to? Away from you. How long will that last you? Who knows? This could get annoying. Instead of chasing me down, Horse started to pick up a desk. Was he gonna throw it at me? I realized I still had the taser on me that Sheep gave me. I only had one shot. Well, when was a better time than this? The shot came out widespread and unfocused, but enough of it hit Horse to make him drop the desk and shout out. This is my chance. I ran up to him and started punching him in the chest. It didn't take long to realize that this wasn't doing anything. Horse, more annoyed than hurt, swatted at me with his other hand. I wasn't able to make it out of the way in time, so he sent me crashing into the table nearby. Ow, why'd you have to go and do that? Once again, Horse started to approach me. This time, however, I didn't see a clear place to run to. I needed to get him to stop, to catch him off guard. Who's doing the killing? What? You said the Night Devil's the murderer, right? But the one coming at me right now is you, isn't it? That's... Horse looked conflicted, and being conflicted meant an opportunity. On the nearby shelf there were a couple of vials. I grabbed one that was labelled vinegar and threw it right at his face. This caught him off guard and the glass shattered against his face, leaving him drenched. The impact put him off balance, he stumbled back and the skull mask fell out of his pocket. The skull mask. I ran forwards, grabbed it. As he tried to grab me, I dodged, running further into the lab. That's right, run! Running's all you're good for. You just let the others do the work, then run away after they fail. That's all you've done this whole game. All you can do. His words stung. I had been running this whole time, but running had kept me alive. Horse was rapidly making his way toward me, but maybe there was something I could do, some trick that could keep me alive. I looked over at the nearby desk and saw 3 bottles of chemicals. I wasn't sure, but maybe, just maybe, one of them could save me. Alright, we're gonna wrap this one up. I know, cliffhanger, but we've got a bunch of fails to do in this run as well, and then we're gonna finish it. We're gonna finish it proper when we come back. Then we'll do the fails, and then we'll move on to another path if we have time in that episode. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.